All right, it just started recording. And hey guys, it's me, Gustavo from Vision Studios. I also run the City News and the City Radio. And I'm here with Motion Era Music Stackboy. And he's here to like let us know about, he's going to let us know about his future music stuff, but he's also going to let us know more about the Summer Splash, which a lot of you guys are really interested in. And so am I, which is really fun to talk to him. And yeah, real quick, if you would like to introduce yourself, let them know where they can find you and who you are, I guess.
It's MEM Stackboy. You can find me on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, all streaming sites as MEM Stackboy.
Yes, sir. And I like that you kind of introduce yourself like that because, my first question, I talk about how beneficial it is to be an independent artist because you get full creative freedom and
Yeah.
you are your own artist. But just interested, what led to changing your artist name from Lone Star 936 to MEM Stackboy?
So the whole thing with the name change was so we got Motion Air Music and uh, the music, and I feel like the label name and the music kind of lined up together, so the branding for that was there. But I just kind of felt like my artist name didn't line up with the music and the brand. So that was a kind of a switch to where we trying to get everything lined up to where everything was
Uh,
the same thing. But I felt like uh being Lone Star 936 was kind of putting me in a box or like basically in a region. So when people hear Lone Star 936, they think of Texas. And Texas already has that predominant sound. So when you, I didn't want people to see the name and be like, okay, well, I don't want to listen to him because I already know what kind of sound he's gonna have. Because
yeah.
or like not in Houston, but Texas already has kind of that standard of sound right now, which is changing, but just from the history of it.
Yeah, that's true. That does make a lot of sense too. Like your name being limiting or your old name being limiting because of how it's so regional, So,
Yeah.
but what does Stag Boy even mean though? Like, what does that mean?
Just so when we came, I one of my homeboys, Duke, we were trying to come up with names, something that matched the brand, that matched the music. So the Stack Boy, because I'm always talking about money or getting money and just stuff like. So it was just more of the Stack Boy came in line like that, and then we just do the motion air music just to keep the branding going. Because everything that
Uh,
we're focused on right now is just the branding.
right. Okay. Well, yeah, that's very cool. What is and my next question ties into literally it already transitions to what you were already saying. Like, what is motion era music for the people out there that don't really know what that is?
So Motion Air is the label. It's LLC label, so it's official. The Motion Air is basically going to be the umbrella for the clothing lines, the Motion Air clothing, the music, Motion Air music, MEM promotions that we got coming pretty soon. With uh, it'll have services from curated Spotify playlists, Apple Music playlists, graphic designers, engineers, uh, just working on video stuff. But that's like I said, that's just kind of gonna be like later on down the road. So it's
Right.
just gonna be pretty much Motion Air is gonna be the umbrella for everything we got coming up. So everything's gonna branch off of the Motion Air.
Okay. Okay. So obviously you're the one that's leading that, but how many artists have you been in talks to, or is how do like if there's an artist right here watching this and they want to be under your guidance, how would they get in contact with you, or how would you go about that as well? Like as you being the leader of Motion Era, how would you go about? Do you select artists, or do they apply, or how does this work?
Nah, so like you mean like kind of like a mentoring thing, or as far as just like signing an artist?
Yeah, I guess
Like,
like signing.
so right now I'm not in. I guess I could say I'm not. I don't think I'm in a position to sign an artist right now.
Right.
But as far as working with other artists, like I wouldn't mind like if did like a mentor wise for it. I
Mm.
I be happy to pull somebody under my wing and kind of show them the ropes. Cause I mean, I went to school for music business, so I know the other end of the music, not just the artist part of it. So I know the business, the promotion, the marketing, the contracts. So I know the other. So I wouldn't mind bringing the artists in and working with them
Right.
and kind of putting them on my wings and showing them the other end. Because being an artist is kind of upfront musically wise, but there's a lot to the other side of it. So
Yeah.
like most people say, it's like 90% business and 10% music. So
No,
it's a
yeah.
lot more than just recording songs and marketing or recording songs and just putting them out there.
Right. Yeah. Facts. It's a lot. It's a lot that goes into it. A lot of people just think
Oh
that
yeah,
they could just put out their song and that's it. Boom, they make it. But nah, you got to make it work.
yeah. There's a very select few that get that blessing.
Yeah. Facts. But it's a lot of hustle behind it though, for sure. I
Yeah.
was gonna ask too, like, what is the vision for Motion Era, and like, where do you see yourself? Like, I don't want to say where do you see yourself in 5 years because that's I feel like that's such a cheesy question, but like, literally, what
Yeah.
is the vision for Motion Era? Like, where do you see it going?
So motion air, like music wise, I want to get to a point to where I'll be able to take the next generation and help build something for them as far as connections. Cause like really here down south, like if you make it musically, it's mainly because of your hustle. Because there's no
Okay.
you can't just go up the road to a label and just kind of be trying. You don't really get to bump shoulders with too many industry people. You like if for someone to notice you, you literally gotta grind your way out of here. So I would like to get the context to be able to help the next generation or another artist get to where they need to go, whether it's the context I know, the information I gathered, the just the things I've seen where I can help them not take some of the routes that's going to delay their timing on where they're trying to go. But it
Okay.
also
Okay.
too, like Motion Era, uh, we are starting up our community stuff. So doing like a community outreach programs is what I'm trying. Really, so like July 30th, we got the Summer Splash coming. So like that's just the beginning of what we're trying to do community wise. So everything community wise is gonna lead up and build us up to what we're trying to get to, but it's more about getting the brand out there now and getting noticed by the community.
Yeah, that's very true, dude. And I think that you doing that is really gonna do a lot for the city because, like, even we just did the Visionary Open Mic July 1st,
Yeah.
and
I hate I missed it. I was in Conroe that night. I was gonna pull up if I made it back in time.
nah, it's all good, dude. We're planning another one on September 2nd, so
Okay.
plenty of time to prepare for that. But that's also the main goal. Like we align with we you and I we align with a lot because the main thing right now is just the community, our local community, actually listening to local artists.
Yeah.
And just being like just being a light, I guess, to the community. And so I did want to ask you too, like, what inspired you to put this summer splash together? Like, I know you said that it's kind of like community outreach, but also like, what actually made you push towards that and be like, you know what, let's we got to do this.
Well, when I was growing up, like we had stuff to do. Like we could get on our bikes and go across town and just hang out, do whatever. We had pools and we had all kinds of stuff that we could really get into. There's all kinds of events and stuff, especially like 'cause I was from up north, so I
Mm.
got to see I guess you could say a conservative neighborhood. So like there's more community stuff going on than just with family stuff. It was just more like there's more community outreach stuff. So just seeing that and then not seeing a whole lot of it here locally, especially from like people that the type of people younger generations look up to. So like
Mm.
the artists, the athletes, and stuff like that. Like we've seen that up north.
Yeah.
So down here, like it's just something like now everybody wants to rap. So who better than to talk to the kids, motivate the kids, mentor the kids, do something the people that they look up to. And
Okay.
then the show too, like the music's entertainment. Yeah, there's stuff that goes on that is that go on in life, but and all in all, it's all entertainment.
True.
So there is the artists don't live day to every minute the same way, the same thing that they hear about on the songs.
True. True.
So it's
Very
just to
true.
show them a different side.
Right. Yeah. Just showing light on, all the people that are involved. And also, uh yeah, I'm very excited for it. I think I'm gonna go a little bit late because I'm
Yeah,
gonna close at 7, but I'm definitely gonna show up there with my wife, and maybe if we're not too late for like all of the fun kids stuff, we might bring like her younger siblings and stuff, or
yeah.
my nieces and nephews and stuff. But yeah, I'm very excited for that, and very excited for you. And I wanted to ask you, like, what will the summer splash look like? For the audience that's listening, like, what should they expect, and you know, like, what are they in for, basically?
So we ended up ordering a close to 6,000, 6,500 water balloons. We did get I want to say about 100 water guns, not like big super soakers now, but just something for the kids.
Yeah.
We do have a DJ, DJ Some Goldie's coming out. He'll be
Shout out.
providing live music. Uh,
Okay.
we'll have YCT is bringing out some water slides, some blow up water slides. There'll be free water. There's a food truck, so there will be food there. So everything we're trying to get everything in one location.
Okay. Okay. Bet.
It'll be at Tanglewood Park. So now with the burn ban going on right now, I had a special guest performer. Abby was coming out. So depending on what happens between now and then, I'm hoping we get some kind of rain. But it's gonna be a fun. But she does like the fire twirling and stuff like that.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so we
Dang.
were gonna bring that just to bring something different out, so the kids can see something different, not just the same stuff every time.
Facts.
So hopefully we can work on something and make that still happen.
Yeah. 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 Well, that honestly sounds very fun, dude. And I'm very like happy for you. The fact that you were able to put this together, and it's almost here in 10 days. Literally, we'll
Yeah,
already be there. And I know what it's like to put like an event together. So like yeah, hats off to you, man,
I
for doing
appreciate
this. And yeah, a lot of respect. And yeah, it sounds very fun. So for the people that
it.
are listening,
Yeah.
guys, y'all
July
gotta point this out.
July 30th will be at Tanglewood Park in Bryan, Texas.
All right, but and it's an all
Uh,
day thing, or like
that'd be
what?
from 4 to, so on the flyer we put 4 to 8:30.
Hmm.
But we do have the park later, so I mean, I'm pretty sure people are gonna hang out just a little longer, so we'll
No,
be
yeah,
there a little later. But for the most part, for the events, it'll be from 4 to 8:30.
okay,
Hopefully,
bet.
our special guest performer can perform at 8 p.m. But we'll see. We'll see how that goes with the burn ban and what the park would allow with all that going on.
Nah, yeah. A lot of times, like after like, or at least like from my experience, like with the open mic thing that we did, like uh we didn't know until that Friday, but no explicit music, which makes sense. But
Yeah,
like, not everybody has a clean version of their songs, which, if you're an artist and you're listening, like you gotta have clean versions because you never know. And
yeah. You don't know where the next opportunity is coming from.
100%. And so what had happened is a few of them they had to wait till after 10. And on our flyer we said we were going to be done at 10. And it kind of like it was a bit devastating because at 10 like people did leave, but we still had like a couple performances to go because the city had told us that if they are going to cuss, it has to be after 10 o'clock. And so we
Yeah.
had to stay longer. And yeah, so hopefully we could see fire twirling because that sounds really cool.
Oh yeah. So yeah, that's. I'm hoping we'll be able to get that go. But like I said, hopefully we get some kind of rain or something, or because I know they got they have to have insurance with what they do. So hopefully, with them having insurance, they'll still allow it. So it'll be insured if anything does happen.
Yeah. I'm
But
wondering if like, and it might be too much, but I'm wondering if like the the you could do it at the tennis court, but I don't
right,
know. I don't know if that's off limits or what. I don't know if you got to speak to the city about that.
yeah, yeah,
But
we'll figure it out. We're just playing it by ear right now to see what steps and what measures we gotta take to get it to happen.
nah, yeah, it's definitely gonna come out really good. I'm looking forward to it. So yeah, like everybody that's listening, y'all gotta show up. Y'all don't want to miss out. You said that it was gonna be annual, correct? Like it was gonna.
Yeah, it's gonna be every year, amongst some other events that we're getting started. But this was the
This,
time, and when everything lined up, this was the first one that we got to go on. So I do got some other events planned. It's just how soon we'll be able to get those off the ground. And I got a couple of collab events with Get Money Nation with Lil Say coming up too. So we got some more stuff coming for the community.
all right, that yeah, that sounds very cool, man. I'm looking forward to it, and I'm also like very um I don't know what the word is, man, but like it's not grateful, but I'm feeling like kind of in that sense that like um I'm just happy to see you doing something for the community, here in Bryan-College Station.
Oh,
And
you gotta get back.
it's very hard for hip hop, and most obviously hip hop, because yeah, hip hop is hip hop, so it looks bad to other people, but it's very hard for the city here in Bryan College Station. There's so much about country and like live rock and all
Yeah,
these, you know so it's very hard to coordinate hip hop, like primarily hip hop events, because the city just thinks hip hop and they're like, yeah, no, we don't want violence or anything
yeah,
explicit. And so I think you doing this is beneficial, not just for, Motion Era, and not just for the people that are involved as sponsors, but I think it's also very good for the city in terms of like they'll be like, we just had this primarily hip hop like sort of summer event, and nothing bad happened. And that's
yeah,
so I'm very like grateful for that. And I think it's definitely going to make us look better, and it'll open the doors for a lot.
yeah.
Not just
Hopefully
for
that's the plan.
Nah, yeah, not just for Motion Era, but in general, like just
Yeah,
the city, like because I've been in talks with a lot of event coordinators that and people that would like to set up like a festival of local artists, which is a very awesome idea. But every venue, like when they go to City Hall or something, they get turned down because of as soon as they hear hip hop, like it's like a
yeah.
bad word here in Bryan-College Station. So hopefully we make a difference, like for sure.
Oh yeah, yeah. So that's the plan, is to get the eye people just assuming when they hear hip hop or rap and stuff like that. So yeah, I mean, hopefully with this we can get something. We can get the annual to get bigger, the next events to grow a little bit more, and then we want to try doing some events coming up. But it's all like part of the process of what we're trying to do and how we're trying to get there, the
Yeah,
type of crowd that we bring in. So it's as far as the community stuff, like we're trying to slowly build and target the crowd, the community that we need to come in, just to kind of show like it the hip hop scene, the rap scene here isn't all about violence.
no, yeah, yeah. Well, I'm very happy for you, man. I'm looking forward to just everything, not just Super Splash, or my bad, Summer Splash. I was looking at
Yeah,
my notes and I saw the word super, but Summer Splash, and I'm just very excited, for you, for Motion Era, for the city in general, and I don't mean the city like the city news or the city radio. I mean like
yeah,
actual Bryan College Station, and
yeah.
just
And like with the history, like everybody talks, nobody supporting each other, nobody does this. Like I'm not gonna say I was shocked by the people, but how many local artists, local entrepreneurs that actually reached out to help sponsor. So
yeah.
that was kind of a good feeling to see that too.
Nah, yeah. Honestly, bro, I had just missed the bus. Like, whenever I found out about it, I was like, dang it. But I mean, this is my way of contributing too, like,
Oh yeah,
giving you a platform to talk about it and promoting it on our end too. But yeah,
oh
next
yeah,
next event, bro. Next event we
yeah. This
gotta.
is this is gonna, this is gonna help out a lot because you got a lot of eyes on you. I hear about Vision Studio and that a lot. So you
Nah,
got
yeah.
people watching.
No, yeah, definitely. And I know that there will be a I know that people are going to listen and they are going to, even if they miss out or don't go, it's just you're going to get some eyes on you basically, as
Yeah.
an artist. And yeah, is there anything else that you would like to add or let the people listening know?
As far as the events go, that's about it. I do got some new music coming. I do got different vibes that most people's not used to really hearing from me.
Okay, okay.
Like I dropped the 97936 project, which was featuring a bunch of art, like local artists from the area,
Yeah.
from Navasota to Bryan-College Station.
Yeah.
I just dropped, I ain't gonna say just dropped, but at the beginning of the year, I dropped Mood Swings, which was another rap album. So the
Mhm.
next group of songs I'm getting ready to release is more like a hip hop, R&B, pop vibe. I guess you can say just kind of hard to kind of put it in a genre because it's a little blend of everything.
Yeah.
But hopefully I'll be able to get that album, which I don't have a name for yet, but get it out and ready.
Do you
So I
think
got
that's by the end of this year, or do you think you'll need more time to get that finalized?
so it's probably gonna be close to towards the end of the year almost. Maybe spring breakish for that because I got other songs in front of that. In front of that, I got a few more singles. I might put another EP out and then get into that. The Going into the spring summer season when it comes back around.
Okay, okay.
But I might.
Yeah,
I know I am gonna drop a single with those vibes on it soon. But
yeah. Well, I'm excited to hear the new stuff, man. And in preparation for this interview, like I did go on your Spotify and I listened to like your music. And I think if you listen to like your oldest stuff to like your last release, Toxic, like you do kind of hear you shifting in that
yeah,
you can hear your artistry going in that like hip hop, pop, R&B, like you can what you described, like you can kind of just transition slowly but surely.
yeah.
And
So I've been doing music for a little while now. So like I've done the rap, the hip hop stuff. So I kind of want to try to something else to broaden the audience and
yeah.
maybe a bigger stage, a little more commercial.
Mm,
So that's where I'm kind of headed with the next. I guess you could say the next batch of music that I'm working on.
yeah. Okay, well, that sounds very good. I do think it's very good for every artist to be versatile because instead of like them wanting to listen to another R&B artist or a hip hop artist, if you kind of have all of that under your belt, they're just gonna keep
Yeah,
listening to you. So
yeah. Like
yeah,
growing up, I've always loved music, so I've always paid attention to a lot of things, and then I think I've said this down there, and I think I said this in almost every interview that asked me about stuff like that. But like growing up, especially in the early 2000s, all the way through the 2000s, Nelly was probably changed the way I looked at the music industry.
Mm,
Because like from the rap that he was doing, then you heard him on country songs, you heard him on pop songs, you heard him on all kinds of music, and it's like, and then the marketability that was behind all that. So that made me look at music as an artist a lot different.
yeah,
Because like you look at how marketable he was through that era, so then it's just like, okay, the more that I was looking at, the more versatile I am, the more I'm able to cross into different genres, the broader my audience is. So then it was just
Right.
sustain. Then I was just trying to sustain the look, the image, and the sound to where I would be able to do that and not be limited to a genre.
Mm. No, yeah, it's very good to just again be versatile. Like, and I'm very excited for you. Very excited for your music, and I think we're gonna have to end the interview very soon because I don't want it to be over 30 minutes. But I appreciate you for allowing me to ask you these questions, and just it's an honor to be able to speak to you and know a little bit more about where you're heading, and just be able to talk to you, man. So I appreciate
Yeah,
you a
man.
lot for your time.
Man, I appreciate you reaching out, man, and allow me to be the first artist on the Visionaries interviews. So
No, yeah. For sure. We got a lot planned, and of course you as well. Like, this isn't our last interview, man. Like, 100%. Like, I want to be able to still be able to talk to you, you know, in the future, and yeah.
yeah,
So
anytime,
just
man. I might, like I said, man, I might have to pull up on you and check you out over there, man, and link up with you one time.
yeah, of course, man. You already know, and yeah, and again, like if you ever have anything you want to promote or anything, just don't even hesitate. Like you already know, like 100%, I got you. We can set up a new interview, or think of a different way, But
Yeah,
yeah, you got my support, and I hope everybody that was listening really enjoyed this interview and was able to learn a lot about what you're doing, and yeah,
all
thank you,
right, man. Well, yeah, I appreciate it, man.
of course.